I just saw a video that said pretty privilege is so real because you can be as weird as you want, but if you're hot, you're still gonna get invited places and you're not gonna be a weird girl. You're still gonna be hot.
People who understand pretty privilege the best are the people who either lost a significant amount of weight or just had a massive glow up in general.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Pretty privilege is hands down the worst thing to happen to society. If you do not look like this, or even this, or have a body like these people do, I'm sorry to tell you, but that means that you just don't have pretty privilege. Therefore, you're ugly. It's so sad that every single time I go on TikTok, I see thousands and thousands of people making videos about how messed up pretty privilege is and how it has ruined their life.
Okay, here's my hot take on pretty privilege. See how I looked really pretty in that first clip and it kept your attention? I digress.
And to make matters even worse, there are thousands and thousands of other comments on these pretty privilege videos that are people sharing their stories about how pretty privilege has affected them in a negative light. Essentially, pretty privilege is basically when your body fits the mold of what the current modern day beauty standards are, and you get treated a lot more better because of that, and you quite literally have privilege over someone who does not fit in that mold. The fact that people are treating us like crap because they don't like the way that we look is the most inhumane, disgusting, and idiotic thing I've heard in a while. Like, what is wrong with people? What happened to judging people based on their character and their personality? Literally, people that have pretty privilege are put on such a high pedestal that it has been statistically proven that these people possess more confidence, more social skills. I know it sounds really shallow, but when you have pretty privilege, your life just becomes so much more easier. It just is what it is.
I'm gonna say it, pretty privilege is real. The more pretty you are, the more easier your life gets, the more opportunity you get. I'm saying this myself because life got easier when I turned pretty.
People give you more slack, you tend to get more raises. I'm not saying your life is on easy mode, but overall, you're treated so much more better. Doors swing open for you. I mean, it's crazy. And then the social media realm. All they broadcast is beautiful men and women that fit into the modern day conventional beauty standards. And when it comes to the antagonists, they're given the mean or ugly or unpopular role. I remember spending months and months trying to build a platform on TikTok. I would spend hours making content and editing, yet it was still like a big struggle to grow. But I would constantly see girls that, I kid you not, will just film like a 10-second video of them like half-ass lip singing to a random video, and they're just like looking really pretty and just like standing there singing, and they blow up and they get like millions and millions of views just for standing there and like filming themselves looking pretty. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because like, you do you, like if it works for you, then do it. But we can't deny that these girls are blowing up because they do have pretty privilege, and it does attribute to some degree as to why they have millions or hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, of course, pretty privilege is the most disgusting thing ever, but I think one of the main culprits as to why pretty privilege is so toxic is because of the halo effect that comes with pretty privilege. The halo effect is essentially a type of cognitive bias where the overall impression of a person influences how we think about their character. How you're physically perceived is how you will be treated.
TikTok told me to use my pretty privilege, and this is your sign to do the same. Free trips, beautiful locations, this is an old picture, yachts, free dinners, more beautiful places, free club, free brunches, free drinks, free, like every single thing free. And I did nothing explicit. I took no substances. I was involved in no sketchy activities, literally nothing. I just used the face card.
Like, for instance, people that have more symmetrical faces are not only seen as attractive, but also are seen as healthy and have great personality traits. So according to science, people are saying that Bella Hadid is the most beautiful woman in the world just because of her face symmetry. And if you guys didn't know, Bella Hadid is an extremely famous model. So a study done by a cosmetic surgeon, Julian De Silva, Bella Hadid won the title for the best looking woman. And this surgeon got his results by using the golden ratio theory, and he based his list on calculating the size and the measurements of your eyes, your mouth, like all your features. And among all the data collected, Bella Hadid scored the highest with like 94%. Other people on this list were Beyonce, Amber Heard, Ariana Grande. First of all, no, just no. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Just because I find someone attractive doesn't mean that everyone else in the entire world is gonna find that same person attractive. I know for a fact that there are thousands, maybe millions of people that do not find Bella Hadid attractive and will not consider her to be the most beautiful woman in the world. If we were to go to South Korea and I showed people a picture of Jennie from Blackpink and Bella Hadid and asked them which one do you find most attractive, chances are the people in South Korea are probably gonna say Jennie from Blackpink because she fits in the Asian beauty standards and they're Asian. The Asian beauty standards are the extremely pale skin, the long straight hair, the very slim nose, the thick straight eyebrows, and Bella doesn't really have as many of those characteristics as Jennie does. So you can't just label a random American woman as the most beautiful woman in the world when there are so many other different beauty standards in the world. Second of all, literally like half of the people on the list have gotten cosmetic work done, so they don't even naturally look like that. Like Bella Hadid, we all know that she got a nose job at 14 and she's been rumored to have buccal fat removal. Ariana Grande, I literally showed a video of her admitting that she got Botox and fillers and whatnot.
Full transparency, as a beauty person, I've had a ton of lip filler over the years and Botox. I stopped in 2018 because I just felt so too much.
So how they're presenting is not how they were born. And I can't help but wonder about all the girls that saw this whole ranking system and thought, wow, I don't look like these people, so I can't be beautiful. So guess what? They resort to going under the knife and getting all these cosmetic procedures in hopes to look like their favorite celebrity and be considered the most beautiful person in the world. People are spending thousands and thousands of dollars just to temporarily fit in the mold of what is the beauty standard of that time. It's sad. And the thing is, having a symmetrical face just isn't practical. I found a website that takes different celebrity faces and makes them symmetrical. So this is Emilia Clarke's normal face, and this is what it would look like if both the sides of her face were symmetrical. Like, where did the bottom part of her face go? This is what Anne Hathaway would look like with a perfectly symmetrical face. Like, it just doesn't work. The halo effect is obviously just so damaging and dangerous. I mean, pretty privilege is dangerous. There's also something called the horn effect, which is basically the opposite of the halo effect, where if people don't perceive you as pretty, then they think that you're a troublemaker, you're a criminal, etc. So basically, if you have pretty privilege, you can get away with murder. And even though pretty privilege has so much to do with how people perceive you, it also has so much to do with how you perceive yourself. There was a social experiment done at Dartmouth, and they took around 20 women and 20 men and sat them in a room, and they put like makeup on them to essentially make them look ugly. So they painted like a scar on their face, and they told the men and the women to go out in the world and act like you're asking for directions, and then just like communicate with different people and see like how they perceive you with this scar on your face that they painted on. So the men and the women went out and they interacted with these people, and they came back and said, I was treated so horribly, people were rude to me, they were short with me, it was just, they had a really bad experience. So for the second time, they took all the makeup off that made them look ugly, they took the scar off and sent them back out there, and the men and the women came back and they said, oh my gosh, I had such a different experience, it was so much more positive. People were nice to me. They were going out of their way to help me. And so after the study was done, it was found out that the first time whenever they put the makeup on their face and make them look ugly, that scar, they actually, right before they went out into the world, they stopped them and said they had to retouch their makeup. But whenever they were retouching their makeup, they actually took the scar off. So when they went out that first time and interacted with those people, they didn't have a scar on their face. The scar was gone. There was no makeup on them. So both times that they went out to talk to people, they looked the exact same. When they were talking to people on the street, in their head, they assumed that because they had the scar on their face, that people were going to perceive them in a negative light. And they also presumed that the interactions that they had were not positive because people were going to treat them differently because of how they looked. They probably didn't have as much confidence as they normally did, so they probably came off or had like a weird energy to them, and that all attributed as to why they were treated so negatively. I remember one time I went to the store and I just felt so ugly that day. I was wearing like sweatpants, my hair wasn't done, and I remember like someone bumped their cart into me at the store and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, go ahead and go. And in my head I was like, why is this person treating me so nice when I look so terribly? It just didn't make any sense to me. And I had to realize and tell myself that, wait, like you look fine, you're normal, like stop being extra. And after that, all my experiences with other people were positive. How you perceive yourself is how the world will perceive you. If you think that you're ugly, if you're insecure with no confidence, then that's who you are. A woman who is, you know, overweight and doesn't conventionally like fit into the beauty standards, but walks with confidence, is very nice and polite and is kind and stuff like that, will always be more beautiful than a woman who fits into the beauty standards, but she's cruel, she's mean, she's jealous, she's envious. Yes, pretty privilege is messed up, and it's so messed up how people that don't fit into the societal beauty standards are treated, but you will always have the power to change how people perceive you based on your own confidence and self-esteem. And that's the one thing that no one can take away from you, regardless of how ugly or pretty you are. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below your opinions, and I will be back next week for you guys for my next video. Bye guys.